Hello Sumates, you're welcome back to my channel. So this is a continuation of this basque waistline crop top, corset top. I've already done a detailed video of the pattern drafting and the cutting in part 1. So this is part 2, and I want to take us through the process of coupling it together, like sewing it, the techniques I use in making it, because it's not carrying a lining, okay, and I wanted a knit work done. So I'll be taking us through the process on how I got it done. So here now you can see me placing the fabric together. So we'll be going straight to the sewing machine to start joining them one after the other. Okay, so now if you've watched the part 1, this part 2 will be way easier for you to understand. Okay, so if you've not seen the part 1, I'll drop the link in the description box. You can go ahead and check for the link there. Watch the part 1 before coming back for the part 2 so you don't get confused. So this is the front pattern we have on the table. So first of all, I'm going to put it up together, then I'll go ahead and join. Remember that if you're joining anything that you made with a bustier method, you have to start joining from the lower part, okay, so that it will align on the part where the curve is on the bust area. Okay, so you can see me that I'm joining it from the lower part. Can you see what I'm doing? And you have to be careful to make sure that it aligns. Okay, the both pieces you are putting together, they align and they are equal by the time you're done joining it. Okay, so now I will continue like this, joining the front and the back pieces together. So we have how many star lines for the front? About, okay, so is a total of 4 star lines for the front. The back also is carrying 4 star lines. That's why we have so many pieces that we're putting together. So this is how I will continue joining it. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the same process until I'm done joining both the front and the back piece together. So it's literally just joining we're doing here. Then we'll get to the next phase together. So you can see this one, how it is neatly done. Okay, so I will go ahead and do the same thing. This is the center I'm already putting in together also. So it's still the same thing, so I'll just go ahead and join all the pieces together, then we can go to the back pattern. So at this point, we've fully joined the front pattern. So we'll be going to the back pattern and we'll be repeating the same thing. Okay, so I'm just going to pull the pieces together. You can see that I already arranged them on the sewing machine just so I don't make mistake. Okay, so it's just the same thing. Join everything together, then we'll go to the next phase. So this is what we have after joining the back and the front pattern together. So what I did was that I went ahead to weave it on the inside because there is no lining and I want the inside to be neat. Okay, so after weaving the joinings on the inside, I went ahead to press it down, because from the style on the thumbnail you can see that it's kind of carrying a bony channel, and that's what I'm creating here with the allowance inside. Okay, now I have gone ahead to weave it like I said before, and I'm just going to press the allowance on the fabric, making it to create a boning channel. Okay, so in case you want to insert a boning to your own, this channel we are creating now is where you'll be passing your boning through. Okay, so if you're used to making corset very well, you know what I'm talking about. So on the front pattern also, the bust part is carrying a curve and it's not always easy sewing that part. Okay, so what you do now, as you're sewing it, you're spreading it. Make sure you spread. You can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so you make sure you spread as you're pressing the joinings down. Okay, you'll be spreading it as you're sewing it so that it is relaxed and smooth, so that no part of it will be packing at the end of the day when you finish sewing. Okay, so my camera is not so sharp to bring out the details. Okay, and I understand that, but you can see that the joinings, they are the part I'm pressing down, because I've already gone ahead to weave the joining with an inner weaving machine. So if you're not using a lining, you can do it the same way, but if you are using a lining for your own, you don't need to weave it. So you just turn with your lining, you just press the joining, press it down to create the boning channel, and just turn the whole fabric with your lining. Okay, so after pressing everything down, this is what we have. You can see how beautiful it is on the right side. So we've done the same thing for both the front and the back pattern. Okay, so the next thing, I want to couple it together. Like, we want to put the front and back together, and the first place to start from is the shoulder. Okay, so I'm going to be joining the front and back shoulders together. So I'm just going to place them together and join. If you're watching to this point and there's any part you don't understand, please drop a comment in the comment section and I'll put you through. So you can see me putting the shoulders together. Now, after putting the shoulders together, the next thing I'm going to do is to join the sides. Okay, I'm going to join the sides together. So what you're going to do when joining the sides, you have to measure the amount of seam allowance you added while you were drafting. Okay, you know I'm always adding seam allowance to my pattern drafts. So the amount of seam allowance you added, measure it out to join it. I'm always measuring so that my work is accurate at the end of the day. Okay, you can see me checking it. So you have to make sure that you are sewing the right inch you added for allowance. That's the one you are sewing away. You are not sewing lesser than, and you are not sewing more than. If not, it will be too tight or it will be too loose on you. So you have to measure it to be sure of what you're doing. So I'm just going to join both sides together, and after joining both sides together, I will go ahead and pipe it. So you know it's not carrying a lining, so what we're going to do is just to pipe. So I have my strap cut out. It is 2 inches wide. Okay, the width of the strap is 2 inches. So we're going to pipe the upper part from the center back all the way. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing here. Like I said, the fabric I cut in a bias form is 2 inches wide. Okay, and I made it as long as possible for it to pass around the area I am piping it with. Okay, so first of all, just place it on the main top you're working on and just make a straight stitch. Okay, so I'm just going to take us round through the process. I'm not rushing it at this point, so that you can get and understand what I'm saying. So you just sew it. You know how you turn your fabric with your bias. That's what we are doing here, because it's not carrying a lining. If this top was carrying a lining, it will be way easier. Like, you just turn your main top with the lining and you're done. You will not have to do all this piping that I'm doing here. Okay, so I'm just going to take us through why I pipe it all around. After sewing it all around like that, the next thing I'm going to do now is to flip it to the wrong side. Don't forget that the first part we sew was the right side of the bias facing the right side of the top. Okay, so this other part I'm turning it into the wrong side. Okay, so I'm just going to fold it 2 times and flip it to the wrong side. Then I'm going to sew another straight stitch and sew it all around again. So while wrapping the upper part, while wrapping it up all round. Okay, so I'm just going to do that, then we'll go to the next phase. So at this point, you can see how I'm taking my time. So to make sure that it comes out very neat, because the whole of this top, I'm going to be piping it all through. So you can see how I'm taking my time so that it doesn't, no part of it will be packing. So you don't have to rush it. You take your time, fold it properly and sew it gently so that it will come out very nice. So this is what we have. I'm done piping the upper part. That's the shoulder part. Now we have to pipe the armhole area. So the same way we pipe the shoulder part round now, we'll pipe the armhole area. But you remember that we've already closed the armhole part, closing the front and back together. Now I will have to loosen it. Now you can see the stitches I've run for the bony channel. You can see how neat and nice they are. So after I've gone ahead to loose the both armhole area, I'm going to pipe it the same way I piped the shoulder part round. Okay, so it's just the same method basically. I'm just going to sew it round and also pipe it the same way. Then the lower part of the top, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'll do that off camera to save time, because it is the same method I use in piping the shoulder, and I showed us the details of how I did it. Okay, so I'm just going to do the same thing to the both armhole. Then I'll also do the same thing to the lower part of the top. Then we cannot go ahead and attach the zipper together. Okay, so this is me closing the side back. You know, I opened it up for me to be able to pipe the armhole. You can see how neatly done it is like this. So I will repeat the same thing for the other side, like I said, and I will also pipe the lower part. You can see that the lower part is not done, so I will do it and I'll pipe the lower part also. So by the time I'm done, we'll go ahead to fix the zipper. So here now you can see that I've already gone ahead to pipe the lower part with the same bias that we're using. Okay, so now that we've done that, it is time to attach the zipper to the top. So what am I going to do? On the center back, I'm going to put it together on the wrong side. Okay, so I'm just going to sew like 1 inch or 1.5. You know, the back is not so long. I made it short. So I'm just going to run a very straight stitch, 1 inch, using the same exact inch I use as my zipper allowance while I was cutting on the fabric. Okay, so I'll just tighten it. After I've gone ahead to run the straight stitch and I tighten it, I will go ahead to attach the zipper to it. Okay, so when you flip it to the right side, this is what we have. This is the zipper opening. Can you see? So we're going to be attaching the zipper. At this point, I've gone ahead to attach my zipper footer to the sewing machine. I'm using a zipper footer to fix the zipper at this point. Okay, so I will go ahead and mark the zipper allowance. I'm going to place my zipper on it. It's not an invisible zipper. I want to make it, I want to sew it like an invisible zip. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and run a straight stitch attaching the zipper to the top. So at this point, I know you'd have noticed that I did not attach a bunny to the top. That's because I feel it's going to be very uncomfortable having bunnies inside of it. So the bunny channels are created is just for it to give me the designs that is on the tube nail. Okay, there is no bunny inside. I didn't attach bunny inside the bunny channel. It's just the design we're working on, and that's why we created all of the star lines creating the bunny channel, but there is no bunny inside. Okay, so at this point I'm still attaching the zip to it. I'm still figuring it out, attaching the zip to it. So by the time I'm done attaching the zip to it, we are totally done with the making of the top. It's as simple as that. If you find the video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Don't forget to share your thoughts with me. Positive, negative feedback, I learn from them. So thank you very much for watching. If you are still watching at this point, so honestly the top came out really very nice. It came out really nice. For those that love crop top, this top is actually very nice and comfortable. So I went ahead to cut out the excess zipper. Okay, and this is what we have. We are done. You can see how neatly done it is, and I've not even ironed it. So this is it on my dummy after giving it a little press. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.